Hi everyone, I found my lighter, we got a candle, I'm so happy. It's the small things. We're gonna just dive right into this reading. So we have this these two cards here that feel a little bit like a central pillar of energy that has come in and opened something for us. The first card I want to show, and I'm not going to read what this card says because that's not the important part. It feels like we may have been in a position where we felt like our life was stagnant. We may have been stuck in some sort of rut. Maybe even we felt that we weren't truly living, right, for somebody. And there seems to be something in that energy that has now parted. And this is because of some sort of insight, some sort of clarity that we've received. We seem to be able to see how we have opportunity, or we have more to live for, something greater to live for, something more that we should be doing with ourselves. And maybe someone is coming out of a period of depression, or maybe we just had some limitations that we had to release, right? Maybe there's a profound perspective shift that's recently taken place to cause this opening up of that energy. Whatever we're seeing on the other side, it is requiring some courage. It seems to be a very new way of living that is requiring us to really challenge ourselves to step forward boldly here. Again, notice this theme of the center, right? This sword has cut through the center of this, and we're able to step through finally. Now, the cards that are coming out over here are very interesting to me because this is kind of a theme that seems to be very important in our lives. And this over here is kind of what's going to get us there. So we're going to look at this. I'm seeing here with the cards, the Singer of Connection and the Singer Unity. There seems to be this energy of networking, of socializing, of knowing that we have to put ourselves out there in some way, right? The goal for this is going to be different for everybody, but it does seem to be very heavy on connections. There's even some things here about having come out of a hermit phase in order to do this. So someone has come out of this hermit phase, they've had their realizations, they've seen what they need to see in order to move into this next very beautiful, happy, and fruitful sort of phase inside of their life, dealing with some sort of theme about networking and connecting with people. There's inspiration that's taking place to do that here with this Queen of Inspiration. There is an element of finding, I'll call it soul tribe for lack of better term, finding people that we truly resonate with, especially inside our mental spaces. If you look at this cheetah here, it's got these rings around it. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, a cheetah. That is a cheetah. Is it a leopard? Is it a cheetah? I can't tell. But it's thoughts. It's trying to manifest something for itself. It seems to be manifesting like-minded people who have a very similar soul story to themselves. And one of the ways that we know that we have to do this, whoever this collective is we know that we do this by stepping into our full authenticity and being ourself. When we do that, our vibration becomes extremely powerful, and that's when we attract things to us. It was 333 just now when I looked up as I was talking about that. This is about our spiritual foundations, right? What we have truly learned about ourselves. Here again, we have this energy, believe in yourself. And I feel that this animal is going to be important for somebody. There is a change that has happened internally. We see that here with the number 5 being the change and the 7 being internal. There's a change that has taken place internally that is causing us to step forward in this energy and truly believe in ourselves. You may even be listening to someone as you do this. I'm noting the look of the squirrel's little tufted ears there. Okay. And I also want to say that for some of you, a huge part of this is having learned to go within, right? Learning to listen to the self. That may be who you're listening to is yourself. Because as we look at her, she's got one eye covered by that sword. And so one eye is looking out into the world, still part of the world. And the other eye is covered by that sword of truth, being forced to look within. So there is this sort of energy that may have kept us stuck in the past, that we didn't want to waste something, and that we didn't want to yeah, for some of you, it almost feels that way. Like we spent so much time doing this thing that we didn't want to waste that time. But now we understand that this thing was never really going to be long-term for us anyway. It's not something that's going to fulfill us. So some of you have had to leave something behind as part of this. That's where this comes in. We have vulture spirit. Nothing is wasted. And again, that animal will be important for someone. And 6 and 3, this is our family traditions, right, with the number 6, but 3 is our spiritual foundations for me as a reader. So there's some sort of spiritual foundations in terms of the family that we create for ourselves. Again, going back to this unity concept. Here, there does seem to be some sort of communications that we had while we were in this hermit mode that may be part of this. We may need to learn to communicate more. So again, some of you, this is advice over here. Kind of like what will get you to this is that while you are alone, learning to communicate, so networking, this is probably going to be something that's online, right? Or going to groups. You know, if you're a writer, going to writing groups. If you're somebody that likes meditation, going to meditation classes where you can learn and meet other people. Meeting like-minded people is a huge theme over here. Putting yourself out there and having the bravery to do so. And this is a result of doing this, right? You're picking things that you really want to do. Here with the Justice card, again, we have that concept of one eye being turned inwards. And, oh, that's the Sage. And this is the Justice. That eye is now splitting something open because it's seeing something about the self. As you communicate, as you put yourself out there in small ways in order to accomplish this, there's something else that you're going to realize about yourself. And I'm not quite sure exactly what this is alluding to. I feel like it's going to be different for everybody. But there is something, you know, and notice this too, right? The same kind of theme is coming up. It's this idea that there's some sort of limitation on ourselves that may have been adopted during this phase, or it may be a limitation or a belief that we have about ourselves and other people that pushed us into this phase, which is fine. It's often necessary, right? This is a phase we all have to go through at some point in our journey. And in order for us to come out of it, though, this has to happen. It has to be released. That's what it feels like. It feels like there's something that's going to be released, because as we step out, as we connect, as we put the motion and the energy and the bravery behind that action to take that step out our door and to actually make some connections, we're going to understand some sort of untruth about ourselves that we've adopted, and maybe even something that we believed about people. Remember, our beliefs about people are based off of the people that we currently experience, but our current experience of people is something that is resonating at the same frequency to which we are. That doesn't mean that if you're experiencing terrible people that you're a terrible person. That's not what that means. You know, it's that people complement your wounding, right? And so there's this image of a microphone keeps coming up to me. So I think for some of you, this communication and learning how to use your voice effectively and how to speak and how to use your words is going to be very important to get you over here. Okay. I'm hearing one more card. Let's see. Okay. Again, so this card kept coming up this last week. If you watched my readings from this last week, you'll have seen this card 2 or 3 times, maybe even more. This does seem to be something that our guides, our angels, or our ancestors, somebody here is helping us with. Again, it's almost as though, you know, your manifestation has been heard, your prayer has been heard. For me, when I see this, I always view this as like an aspect of myself. You know, some of you, it might be your higher self, for example. But you are being guided and inspired. Again, going back to this card, there seems to be inspiration that's taking place, leading you to the correct places to go to meet these individuals for some of you. Again, this is not a collective that is going to be everybody who's watching this video. This is for very specific people. So I do feel that the squirrel spirit, vulture spirit are very important to this. Again, a microphone was important. I'm feeling that the sword is somehow important, particularly armor or fantasy, something or another, like fantasy novels, things like that seem to be a symbol that's coming out here for me, as well as I just heard dodecahedron and the muses also are another symbol that's coming through, and then we also have a frog that's coming through. So those are the symbols for this message. And the lighter, also the lighter, because I swear I did not put the lighter over here, but here we are. So yeah, this is a beautiful energy. Somebody, you know, you discovered something, you're stepping into this bravely, and you're about to establish some very profound connections for yourself. So congratulations. And if this resonated for you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time.